Your child had solid close control last season. After a growth spurt, they look like a different player, miskicking, stumbling during changes of direction, with a heavy touch. In the physio clinic, these same kids came in with a sore knee or heel, or a hip that felt off. The movement change and the injuries usually coincided. These kids are not regressing, they're being rebuilt. And what happens in that window, how much of the technical skills they recover, whether the clinic visit follows, depends in large part on how you structure the environment around them. During what's called peak height velocity, PHV, the peak of the adolescent growth spurt, the skeleton grows rapidly. Girls typically hit this somewhere around ages 11 and 14, boys between 13 and 16, but the timing varies a lot, and every child arrives in their own window. What you see from the sideline is a child who is certainly taller. What you don't see is that the bones are outpacing everything that's attached to them. Tendons, muscles, and other soft tissue follow bone growth, but not at the same pace. There's a lag. During that lag, the attachment points of the tendons are under more tension. The growth plate, where the bone is being physically grown, is the weakest structural point in the system right now. Hard physical sessions can now produce growth plate stress, not just the muscle soreness we're all used to. Additionally, your child's proprioceptive system, their sense of where their body is in space, how much force each movement requires, where the foot lands relative to where they expect it, is calibrated to the body they had 6 months ago. The new body is longer, the levers are different, the forces required for the same movements have changed. Your child is navigating themselves from a map that no longer fits. It's not a training deficit, but more of a body mid rebuild. The awkwardness on the pitch and the sore knee are the results of the same process. Not two separate problems, but one biological problems with two visible symptoms. The instinct, and I I get this, I completely understand this, is to fix the technical regression with more technical work, more drills, more repetition, get that standard back. The issue with that is that a technical drill is built around one thing: consistent, repeatable movements for consistent, repeatable outcomes. The ball arrives, the movement is performed, it's measured against a fixed standard. The drill assumes your child's body is stable enough to produce consistent results. PHV is doing the opposite. It's actively producing variability, different results from what feel like identical inputs, because the body running those movements has changed. The drill points at stability, PHV points at variability. They're pulling in opposite directions. And what happens is that the child who managed this exercise easily 6 months ago is now failing it. Not because they're less capable, but because they're being asked to perform with the precision of a finished body from inside one that isn't finished yet. That can be a self-belief problem forming in real time, consistent, visible failure at familiar tasks during a window when your child is already managing significant social and emotional change. It can be what produces the "I don't want to go to training" conversation. It's rarely just about the sport. It's usually more about something like this. For girls, PHV brings fat mass gain that reduces explosive performance in the short and in the medium term. The curve looks like regression because by visible measures, it is. Pushing harder on this treats this biological process as a character flaw. For boys, the muscle gain that eventually follows PHV is significant, but it arrives after the coordination disruption window, not during it. Kids who disengage at 15 or 16 are frequently not the ones with the least talent. They are the ones whose environment demanded precision from my body in reconstruction, and who learn during this specific window that challenge leads to failure. That lesson outlasts the growth spurt window. It's not about lowering expectations. It's about matching the training environment to what the body is doing right now. PHV produces variability. The practice environment should meet it there. Not one correct answer, but varied movement problems across varied conditions with a real opponent and real consequences. Games in football and in other sports do this naturally. Your child has to find movement solutions in real time within a body that's changing. That's not a setback, but that's the training this window is asking for. Variability is the adaptation mechanism. It's not a sign that something is wrong. Persistent soreness during this window is information, not weakness, not a character test. The body is absorbing more load than the schedule shows. Growth is a physiological demand, and it doesn't appear on any training plan. The same training week that was manageable 6 months ago may not be manageable now, with no change in schedule at all. And this is a period for exploration, not evaluation. Harsh performance judgment during PHV doesn't build resilience. It's far more likely to build avoidance. The coach isn't situated to know this through no fault of their own. A physio doesn't know it either, but you do. You're the one who noticed the boots were certainly too small. You saw, perhaps measured the growth. You know about the exam on Wednesday, the late night on Thursday, whether there is more going on than football. That information, the full picture of your child's week and their body, is not peripheral. It's critical, clinical information available right now. The coach designs the session on a given Tuesday. You're the one who can decide whether that session is what is needed this week. If your child looks different this year, if the movement that was reliable last season isn't reliable now, the framing that helps a lot of people is a simple one. This is what the growth spurt does, and it ends. The kid who's awkward this year and composed at 16 isn't luckier than anyone else. They're more likely to be surrounded by people who knew what was happening and adjusted accordingly. It's not just luck, it's reacting, using the information available to you. The Backer Architect is a free tool that builds games calibrated to where your child actually is right now, not where they were last season, and not where the practice plan assumes they should be. Try it out this week. The link can be found below. If you have any questions regarding how you can help your child's football development, drop a comment below. If you want to watch another video that touches on a topic that you as a parent might find helpful, check out this one here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.